Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of Talk Exchange. Today's guest is the infamous Fussell Hughes, who, as you all know, starts as president here very, very soon. And so Fussell gives us a glimpse into his own personal history, the influences that have shaped his personal life, what he's most excited about as incoming president, what he sees as Exchange's place in society and our communities, the legacy that he wants to leave, the importance of family, and so much more. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you again next week.
Welcome to Talk Exchange. I'm Tracey Edwards, CEO of the National Exchange Club.
And I'm Kristie Lindahl, Director of Communications.
So it's fun, Kristie, doing these episodes because we discuss and meet so many fascinating people, discuss a lot of things in and out of Exchange.
Yes.
And in July, we will have installed a new national president, Fussell Hughes.
Yay!
So today we thought we'd keep this fun and light and let our listeners, including a lot of Exchange Club members from around the country, so that they could have an opportunity to get to know Fussell.
Yes, absolutely.
This will be fun. So let's get into it. Fussell, why don't we go back a little bit? What was young Fussell like? What was it like to grow up in your household? Tell us about the early Fussell years.
That'd be a lot of it. I was born and raised grew up on a farm. My grandfather had a farm, and we grew up there with an old country store.
Ooh.
And my granddaddy was a cook in the Navy in World War One, so he enjoyed cooking and all that kind of stuff. So he had a store, and we had the farm. And as I grew up, my father went to work with a construction company, road construction. So we lived with my grandmother in the big house for until I was in the fourth grade. And when I was in the fourth grade, of course, Daddy traveled around. So me and Mama and my sister, Daddy bought a 8-foot wide, 48-foot long house trailer, mobile home. So we moved in with Daddy and traveled with him a lot of years until he retired from that. But I had a sister. She's passed since. But we grew up in a community where a little place called Centerpoint around Preston, Georgia. Everybody knew everybody, and in small communities, everybody kind of knows everybody else's business, and everybody looks after everybody else's children. So it was a good time to be growing up in those years. And after me and Mama and my sister moved in with my daddy, we traveled a lot. I remember one school year, I changed schools 4 times.
Wow, in 1 year.
Yeah, so that wasn't bad for me. By the time the teacher figured out my ways, it'd be time to go on, and I had to break in another teacher. But it was a lot of fun growing up. Met a lot of people, and we moved back to the farm. Daddy got down with arthritis, so we moved back to the farm, and I finished high school there and graduated and went on to a technical school and graduated from that. And heck, the rest is kind of, I enjoyed growing up on the farm and it was good. Learned a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. A man from humble beginnings, and it shines
Absolutely.
through.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us something that people may be surprised to know about you.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm pretty open to everybody. There's a lot of things that I never thought that I would be a leader like I am, like in this position that I'm in. I always, tried to help people, and growing up where I grew up, it was one neighbor helping the other. So I guess that was kind of in on me. I don't really have a lot of secrets, so pretty much what you see is what you get. I'm surprised. Well, to be where I'm at in a leadership position with a national club. I've never been a member of anything until Exchange. When I was 10 years old, I was a member of the Cub Scouts. So
Oh, okay.
that that maybe that set some things in motion, but I just I'm a pretty simple person. I don't. Uh, it's kind of what you see.
Genuine.
Yeah.
I think though, and the Cub Scouts probably did have some impact on your life. It generally does. And also I know you had a hardware store and you were involved in the Georgia Farm Bureau. So a lot of things you did led to your leadership path and really, I'm sure, shaped you
Absolutely.
as a leader.
You know, and I'm going to ask you a question, Fussell. If your friends and family could describe you in 3 words, what do you think they would say?
3 words. Probably a good old boy.
I like it.
That are simple. A good one. You heard me.
Yes, we like that.
Probably say that too much, but that's just a simple person. Uh, nothing out of the unusual. I love people. I love being around people, and I guess I got that from growing up with my grandfather at that old country store back in the day. The older guys in the community would all come and gather there and talk outside on the porch, and so I can remember some of their stories, and a lot of it kind of came back as I grew older. I remember those stories, and I said, well, I've done some of those things also. So that's kind of it. That type life.
Nice.
I kind of see some glimmers in there of why you're in the position you're in, Fussell.
I think so too.
Leadership qualities right there.
Definitely. And who would you say 1 or 2 people who've had the most influence on your life? Maybe you've thought about them as you've moved into this leadership position. Maybe you just have a strong core memory about them. Who would you say really influences you or did influence you in your life?
My granddaddy first, probably.
I figured you would say that.
And then, of course, my grandparents. My grandfather on one side was Pa Bill. He's the one that owned the store, and my other grandfather, he worked for a lumber company back in the day, and my grandma ran the commissary. It was kind of a company store. So when I was, it's according to whose grandma or grandpa I was with, which side. I was always associated, around a lot of people. Now, as I grew older, I would think I had a vocational high school teacher. I was in the FFA, the Future Farmers of America, and believe it or not, I ran. We had a club, Future Farmers Club, and I was the reporter for that club, and eventually moved up, dadgummit, to president of that club. And the biggest thing I did back then, this man's name was Marvin Harrington, and I still, every once in a while, I'll talk to him or his daughter, and so he's still around, and we communicate a little bit, not maybe once a year, but or she'll call me and tell me how he's doing and stuff like that. But I went to when I was 15 years old, I went to the National FFA Convention in Kansas City, Missouri. And so Mr. Harrington had a lot to do with that. And you look back from now to then, maybe that had something to do with why I am where I am. Of course, when I joined Exchange, there were a lot of the older guys in that club, in the Albany Club, that always encouraged me, and I have a list of them. and some of them are well known in national exchange. Butch Griffin, he's in the Court of Honor, and it was wonderful to go to the Court of Honor and see Butch's name on the granite. So you got people like that that's behind you. There's Marvin Loring, a lot of guys, a lot of older guys that just said, I say I can't do this. I said, yeah, you got it, Fuss. Go ahead. So that's kind of those guys, those people are really what got me, to where I felt confident enough to be where I'm at, or to explore and go on and try something different and something new, and here I am.
And how
That's
fortunate.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you had some great examples of, service and camaraderie in your club, in the Exchange Club there, and in the Georgia district, in fact. I know they're so proud of you and so excited. Yeah. Speaking of excitement, as you look forward to the coming year, being national president, what are you most excited about?
I love to meet people, and I'm excited about the opportunity, when you're coming up in the ranks, or when you're a district president or a club president or RVP, you start getting hints about what you want to do and how you want to. I told somebody the other day, I said, I just want to leave Exchange a little bit better than I found it. So I feel like that I'm excited about the opportunity to grow, to maybe get new clubs, maybe try some new things to get people excited about Exchange, and new people excited about Exchange, and spread the word of Exchange. We've got a heck of a product. We just everybody needs some of it, and we need to get out there and sell it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And Fussell, speaking of Exchange and the future of it, the world, the country has been through a lot of changes in the last 6 years, and that shifts the perspective of almost anything and everything. Where do you see, what is Exchange's place in society and in communities?
I think here in our country, I think that there's a place for Exchange in every community. I just don't see how you can turn down the opportunity for Americanism, for community, for youth, and especially we need to push the prevention of child abuse. I mean, it's not going away. I don't see where we're going to invent a pill to where you can take one and it goes away. I think it's just more people talking about it, spreading the word about it. I was in Georgia and Florida for their conventions, and the numbers in those two states of child abuse incidences that's reported is just tremendous, and that we need to get those numbers down, and the only way to do that is to take it out in the streets and preach it, and let people understand that's what Exchange does. We can help through these centers that we support. We need more centers. We need the support from the membership. We need more membership. It just kind of balls up. It just kind of rolls the bigger, like a snowball. If you get more members, you have more opportunities to create knowledge and let people know how much child abuse prevention there is in their community that they probably don't know about.
Well, speaking of that, you brought up some great points about why people should be aware of Exchange and their efforts. If you could give one piece of advice to every club about membership, what would that look like?
Don't keep doing it like you've been doing it. That won't work. I know, and I experience it in our club and other clubs that I'm around, and when I visit other clubs and I visit districts and I visit regions, we all got the same problem. We just need to accept that and kind of change as we move along. We need younger people, but younger people they got a plate full. I mean, with young children, with ball and whatever. I think I through going through Georgia district and Florida district this past month, I've got some great ideas that these people, these two districts have got it on track about how to change, not really change, but get newer people involved, and these some of the programs that we're doing is adjusting those programs to involve the younger people or a younger group of people, and let them kind of do their thing and go along with them because they've got some great ideas.
Yeah.
And they the Instagram and social media and moving schedules around so that they can attend. And I heard last week where they 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 wanted to do things in the community, but they didn't want to sit down in a meeting. So the biggest thing is get them involved when you're handing out flags, when you're doing outside events, when you're having fundraisers, when you're in a parade. Get these young people involved that way. They may not show up for the meeting, but heck, they're a good force of people to have and help you move exchange along in the way that we need to move it.
Beautiful thoughts.
Absolutely.
You know, existence is only possible through evolution. I've heard that at some point.
I like that.
I think that's what we're talking about here,
That's a
Fussell.
good one. Absolutely. Yeah, clubs need to evolve. And I'm glad you're hearing that and hearing those success stories. We hear the same thing about clubs changing their meeting style, moving meetings, getting people more involved, as you said, doing something.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, there's a lot of advantages to belonging to Exchange.
Right.
One of those being that we don't have a time commitment requirement. We'll take what you can give, when you can give it, what you want to give.
Yes.
And I think that's what Fussell's saying. Let's capitalize on that.
Absolutely. Everybody gives it their own capacity.
Yep.
True. Well, switching gears a little bit, speaking of those types of things, what legacy do you hope to leave, not just as the national president, but as a person, as you think about the end of your term and what people may think about you years later even?
I hope people see me for what I am, honest, and if I tell you something, you can write it down. I don't. I think a lot before I speak, and so I don't want to lead people on. I'm not a showboat. I'm not a person I might not tell you what you want to hear, but whatever I tell you will be honest and from my heart, and it'll be good. I hope. And when I move on, I hope they look back and say that he did a pretty good job with what he did, and I see people on that wall when I go to Toledo that I look up to, and I have good thoughts about those folks, the past presidents that I've known, and it's just like the past people in my club that had an influence on me, and I want to just leave it better than I found it. I think we can do that and not change a lot, but at least get some people on our side and thinking the same way we think, and just I've just leave it a little better than I found it. Again, I'll say that, but just a good thoughts when you think about me. That's it. Just
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're so genuine. That's one thing that always
Yeah.
strikes me. A real genuine person.
Yeah, Fussell, you have a heart of gold and a heart of service. And, I just have to say, on behalf of national headquarters staff, we are so excited to work with you and see what the next year, holds.
Definitely.
Big things, I think.
Big things. Let's close with a couple of fun things.
What?
Okay, I have a
Couple
question
fun
for you,
things. Okay.
Fussell. When I call you, what are you usually doing 50% of the time?
I know the answer to that.
I wish you would share this with people.
Yes.
Well, this morning when you called me, I had got up and had gone. Me and Elise, my wife, we got up and was headed to pick up our two granddaughters. One of them had softball practice at 9 o'clock this morning, so the other one is her and Elise are gone. I think they went shopping, so
Yep. They usually do.
Keep an
Yep.
eye on those text notifications.
usually I'm with grandkids or family doing something. And,
Yes.
So I sometimes I have to tell them when they sit down in the car, y'all be quiet now, because we got somebody on the phone I need to talk to.
Aw.
But
Yeah.
it's good. I wouldn't trade them for nothing. And I've got more than two. I've got 6 grandchildren and 6 great grandchildren. I stay connected to all of them.
Nice.
I'll tell this, and you can cut it out if you want to. When me and Elise got married, I had a child born on July the 7th, and believe it or not, I had a great grandchild born 7 days later. So y'all figured that one out.
Wow. Wow. That's
Wow.
a full life, right?
Yeah. And, there's one more story I want to share about Fussell. I think he's
Okay.
being so modest. His daughter is a teacher, yes. And
Yep.
she asked him, do you want to finish the story?
Go ahead.
All right. To help him drive the school bus.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you tell it, Fussell. It's amazing.
Yeah, what I do part time is I drive a school bus for my daughter's a teacher at a private school here in Albany, and so I get to go with her and do all the activities she does because I get to drive the school bus,
That's so fun.
and it's a lot of fun. And believe it or not, I've had some Zoom meetings with National sitting
Yep.
on the school bus. But we make it work, and that way I stay involved with them, and I get to know these other kids. And believe it or not, we started an Excel club at the school my daughter's teaching at, and they're doing good things, and it's a lot of fun.
Good. You know how to make things fun.
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely.
And
thanks,
purposeful.
Yes. Thanks for sharing about your life, about your wonderful family, and you helped build that club that your daughter's in. So that's the way to spread the legacy of exchange, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Excellent.
it. And I got a granddaughter that can't wait to get to Omaha and pin me, she said.
We are excited about that too. Well, we're super excited about your year as national president, the impact you'll have. And I know that what we hear about you all the time is how likable you are. So a great person to spread the word of exchange and a great ambassador for exchange. So thank you for your leadership, Fussell. Thanks to your family as well. I know they're with you in everything you do. And thanks for joining us for this episode of Talk Exchange.
Well, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And if you're listening and you're not yet an Exchange Club member, please visit nationalexchangeclub.org to learn more. Thank you.
Join up.
Join up. Easy peasy. That was a breeze. Thank you.
Why do I always want to give you a hug?
Because he's so likable.